Hi guys, so I'm in a bit of a different spot in this video. I have moved into a new house and this is going to be my new space, but it's going to take a little bit of work to get it exactly how I want it. But anyway, today's video is going to be me just talking about how I have blended the suit of this Deadpool drawing. So I'm just going to be focusing on this area and just kind of talking through exactly how I have blended my Fabercastels to look as smooth as possible, because sometimes that can be a hard step to learn, and I remember starting off and being really frustrated about everything. Yeah, so if that is something that you want to learn, then why don't you stick around and I will talk about some stuff. Alright, thank you, I'll see you soon. So the first thing I'm going to do is take my dark sepia pencil and use that to lay down my shadows. Essentially this is just under the nose, a little bit around the mouth and the chin, and just beneath that finger that he's got up to his lips, because that creates a nice shadow and just shows us how the shape of the face works. And I'm just drawing these strokes in really lightly and trying to get my strokes as even as possible and all in the same direction. Once I'm happy with that, I'm going to go in with my scarlet red, and I'm essentially just going to colour in that entire area. This part of the face is quite deep and dark, so I'm not going to be leaving any of it white or anything, so just kind of colouring in even strokes, making it look as balanced and even as possible, so not pressing too hard, and all your strokes are in the same direction, and that's going to just lay down a lovely base to work with. I'll also just let you know that the paper that I'm working on is the Strathmore Toned Tan drawing paper. I love this paper for doing any kind of portraits with coloured pencils. I feel like for me so far with what I've used, it's the easiest to blend those colours smoothly with the Fabercastell Polychromos pencils, especially for skin texture or like suit, Deadpool suit texture. I'm also just taking now one of my yellows and I'm lightly bringing out a few highlights. It might not be too easy to see, but I really like just putting them in. So just a few little bits where the sun is hitting his suit. It's just a little bit more golden, so I'm just putting a few highlights in there. This colour I'm using is a middle cadmium red, and it's my favourite red for this suit. It's almost like a deep blood colour, which is really works really well for a Deadpool suit. The same thing again, pretty much just colouring in the entire area, making sure your directional strokes are all in the same direction and evenly placed. So this is just going to be going over again and again with each different colour and building up that colour, and not pressing too hard, because that's not going to allow you to get as many layers in as you need to get the colour depth and stuff that you want. So get enough colour on there so that it's actually noticeable, but not pressing down too hard and like damaging the paper surface. I've got most of my reds in. I'm going back in again with my dark sepia, and this is where I'm going to redefine a lot of those shadows and start to kind of blend that colour out a bit more. So now I'm going to take my ivory pencil, and this is like my nice little highlight that's not quite white and has a tiny tinge of yellowy creamy colour in there, and just bringing out the light on that bridge of the nose again. So going over with this lighter pencil again, you can kind of start to press a bit harder and blend those colours together a bit more, because you can always go back over with a darker pencil, but that nice lighter colour is going to help you to merge some of those colours and get it a bit more of a creamy consistency. Now again, just going back over with my cadmium red. It's my favourite red after doing this video. I just love how it came out. I'm pressing a bit harder again with that red and just going over the shadows and a few of the highlights to kind of soften that lighter colour and make it all merge together nicely. At this point it's essentially looking how I'm wanting it to, and I'm just going over again, filling in a few more of those grainy spots and redefining even more some of those shadows with a dark sepia and also a black pencil, just to really get those dark shadows right underneath the finger and on the chin area. This is going to be my favourite step. I'm just going to go over everything evenly with a Derwent colorless blender, and you only want to do this once you're really happy with the colours that you've put down and you've pretty much filled in all of that the paper, and you've tried to blend everything as well as you can and there's no rough pencil strokes in there. And this is just going to kind of unify all of those colours together, and it just smooths it out that extra little bit and just looks really awesome, and I really like using it. I will just recommend that you save this last step for last, because while you can draw back over top of that colourless blender again, it always works best to use it at the last stage. So that's just my little last bit of advice for you guys. Hey, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw today, if there was something helpful in it, I would really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button to see some more later on. I don't know when I'm going to be making videos, but it'll be at some stage. That's what I can assure you, some stage. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment, tell me what you want to see, and I'll see you next time.